Hello, my name is Landon, also known as Jack. Call me whatever you'd like. And today, I'm teaching you how to build a commander deck. So, today I'm going to be using my Garth One-Eye Commander. Focus. Just as an example of a commander, I am personally building, I've mentioned this in a previous video, I'm currently building the commander deck. I have about 70 cards with 20 on the way. Thank God. I call this my everything deck because Garth, his ability, this is why he's in my opinion, the most beautiful commander. His ability reads, when a card name, choose a card name that hasn't been chosen from among Disenchant, Brain Geyser, Terror, Shivan Dragon, Regrowth, and Black Lotus. Create a copy of the card with the chosen name. You may cast the copy. You still have to pay its mana cost. So, something about him, that's one thing I love, is, and no, I'm not using him only for the Black Lotus, people. Get a grip on reality. I don't know a single person who uses Garth just for his Black Lotus snatching. I'm also pretty sure that would be no, it's not illegal because they print him off a card and he's legal. So you can't have a Power 9 card on your battlefield. Now it is a token. All of these would be tokens, which is why I made this a extreme token deck. I think it is the perfect token deck, in my opinion. There's so many alternate win cons in this deck. Let's get into them. I have just a couple on hand that I can tell you about. So, let's start with the first step to my win con condition. We have Anger. Beautiful card. If you don't know what Anger does, he's in your graveyard and you control a mountain. All creatures gain haste, basically, permanently. They all gain haste. So, I have Anger in this deck because a lot of the creatures I control need haste. I have that along with Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves. That's just the first part of my win con. I think it's a win con. Tell me if I'm wrong. The second card, as I go through here, is my Diabolic Tutor. You search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So, it's a 4 mana, basically just a demonic tutor. Except for you don't put it on the battlefield. I think I bought it for $2. It's an older version of a Diabolical Tutor. But for $2, I basically get a demonic tutor. That's just part 1. I'm still going on part 1. Okay. I've separated all my win con cards. All the cards I would need to win. Except for like a couple. Because I haven't gotten them yet. So that's just another reason why I can't show you the full cards right now. Alright. Let's get into the win cons. So I have a card in here that is called Time Stretch. If you don't know what it does, you basically pay, I think it's 6 or 8 mana to take an extra turn. It's beneficial. I'm trying to figure out a way how to blink it. I don't think I can. I don't think there's any way to blink it. So that's a alternate card that I just wanted to mention real quick that is in this deck. Another thing about this deck, it is bracket 4, I believe, with the new bracket system. The only reason I would have a mass land destruction is Ajani Vegeant. I'm not even going to use it for the -9 ability, I think is what it is. I'm not going to use it for that. That is a crappy thing to do. So I would say it's a high tier 3 bracket, which means it has a bunch of game changers in it. I will go over those cards in a moment. But for right now, let's look at some cards I have in hand and on me and not on the way. Because some of the cards are just stupid. Oh, before I forget, another card that I have in here that is like Time Stretch is Beacon of Tomorrows. It's an instant, I believe it is an instant, where you can pay, let's see, I have my deck list, hold on. It's a sorcery, excuse me, where you pay 8 mana and you take an extra turn after your turn. Time Stretch is at 10 mana. That isn't going to matter. That is not going to matter because I have some cards in here that basically don't allow me to pay any costs or pay very minimum of costs. Let's get into it. So we're going to start with my first win con, and that is tokens. Oh my god, tokens. They're amazing. I love them. So we're going to start with a Anger to start us off. That is just going to be the first part of the win con. Very standard. You put them in your graveyard as fast as you can. Keep throwing them at people. Just flick them. If you really want to make people scared, buff them up a little bit and slap this card on it. This is the technical start of my win con. This is Trailblazer Boots. I will read it as it reads. Equipped creature has non-basic land walk. It's unblockable as long as defending player controls a non-basic land. You know what a non-basic land is? It's one of these. Dual land. Or anything that doesn't say basic land. Terramorphic Expanse is a non-basic land. It's a tutor land. You search your library. So far, I've been just testing this deck with my friends. It slaps. It slaps them every time. And it slaps them hard. My friends have actual bracket 4 decks. Meant to win in 4 turns, and I shut their whole entire operation down. Yes, using that card. I do make myself a threat, which is why I don't play it until late game. So, I would usually wait late game. I would use my Diabolical Tutor, allowing me to search for a card, put it in my hand. I would search for either Brutaclad Technical or Telcor Engineer. It reads, creature tokens you control have haste. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue Phyrexian Mirror artifact creature token. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. So, it's a really good card. I was thinking about just making a straight up commander deck with him. That's how I got into this mess. Is I seen Brutaclad, and I was like, I want a commander deck with him. So I started building a blue and red deck, and then I found Garth. Then I changed it to WUBRG. So, after you have created a buttload of this next card. This card might just be the win con of the deck. I don't think I would personally use it for everything that it is used for. I would use Colossus of Akros. I have mentioned him before. He's such a good card. I don't know how to make this thing focus. I don't know how to make it focus. He's an 8 mana 10/10. Now mind you, I've said that these high cost cards don't matter to me. They don't. You'll see. Because there's 2 cards in this deck that make spells cheaper and free. I think you know what the free one is. I don't think you know what the cheaper one is. So Colossus of Akros is a defender indestructible. He's a 10/10 for 8 mana, which is already better than most cards. He has 10 monstrosity, which means you put 10 1/1 counters on him when you pay the monstrosity. And as long as he is monstrous, he can attack as though he didn't have defender. Do you remember those Trailblazer boots I have mentioned at the beginning? This would be a time that I would have these. I would have them out on the field. I wouldn't equip them to any creature just yet. I would equip him to Colossus of Akros the second he comes in. And try to give him hexproof. That is where Shalai Voice of Plenty comes into. You, creatures you control, and basically your entire battlefield, other than Shalai of Plenty, has hexproof. They can't be targeted. You see where I'm coming with this. The only way to kill this guy is with a board wipe. Now, when discussing this with my friends, they thought I was mean for this. Yeah, get over here. Get over here. Get so close. Get so close. They don't even know about Ghalta yet. I haven't even mentioned to my friends my Ghalta and Maverin that I'm putting in this deck. Ghalta and Maverin, whenever you attack, create an XX dinosaur, where X is your greatest power. Boom. That is a 2020, people. A 2020 that is out on the field, sitting pretty, probably attacking people, killing creatures. But then I play a Ghalta and Maverin, allowing me to create one green dinosaur that is a 2020 with trample. And you remember that silly little Brutaclad I had earlier? Yeah. So, Quasi-Duplicate is a card that reads, create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control. Now, when I go into combat, 2 things happen. Well, actually, one thing happens. Brutaclad, his abilities trigger, meaning that if I were to create a 2020 dinosaur with trample, I can't, because Ghalta and Maverin is whenever you attack. That's whenever you choose attackers, you know. Quasi-Duplicate is a 3 mana token maker. It just makes 1, which is perfect. That's all I need, because it stays on the battlefield. Ghalta and Maverins just disappear at the end of turn. They're just gone. In the blink of an eye, disappeared. Now, with Quasi-Duplicate, I can do so many more things now. So, at the next turn that I have, I have a bunch of 1010s, or 2020s, excuse me, with Colossus of Akros. So, I have a bunch of 2020s that are all copies of Colossus. Now, hear me out. I still have that 2020 dinosaur with Trample. See where I'm going with this? When I enter combat, all of my tokens become 2020 dinosaurs with Trample. Or here's the alternate option, which is way better in my opinion. I would create 20 1/1 lifelinkers, vampires. Now you might be thinking, why would he create so many? So many. You arrogant fool. Because my Ghalta is still gonna exist. I have 2 Ghaltas now. I'm only gonna throw 1. It becomes, you know, this mess. The mess of it all is just satisfying. When I do this, I create 20 tokens that are all 1/1s with lifelink. Now, skipping to my next turn, I have a bunch of blockers. Okay? Bunch of blockers. It gets back onto my turn. I untap, draw, place a mountain probably. Enter combat. Brutaclad's ability is triggered. I create 2020 dinosaurs with Trample. Do you see? I attack with my other Ghalta. I create 20 more 1/1s. And it goes on and on. I win. And I will win. And before you say, oh, but they can counterspell. See this little card? Sit on my side for a second. How's your day going? Mine's been actually pretty good. Let's just set aside a couple of cards. Cancel. Counterspell from, what was that? Ice Age? Whew. It's pretty. Really pretty. I have 2 counterspells in this deck. Now I know they meant that, excuse me, that might not seem like a lot. Trust me it is. That's all I need for now. Because going back, hold on. Okay. Going back to the beginning, there's one card that I have not mentioned. Fucking bitch. Whatever. Fucking ignore it. Going back to the start, when I said Shalai, Voice of Plenty, how I said she has hexproof, everything is hexproof. This does not apply to any creatures that I summon. That single one. The only way that I can counter them is with my counter spells. Now, I do play MTG Arena, so there was Solidarity. I thought it was a real card. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I thought it was a real card, and it wasn't. So I tried for 2 hours to put this in my deck. Now you gotta be thinking, geez, this ignoring the interruption, I need my counter spells, which is why I'm trying to find out ways to blink them. My deck is not finalized. I literally have 99 cards, including my commander, 99 cards. I need one, and that is how to cancel, basically, counter spells at all times. I can't be countered no matter what. Now, obviously, there is a lot to ask for. If you have any suggestions, please put them down in the comments. But that's WinCon 1, is just creating a shit ton of tokens, then doing all of that extra stuff. My WinCon 2 is my artifacts. I have a couple of artifacts in here that they're okay. Just tiny bits of okay. I have an artifact called Door to Nothingness. I have the original copy of Door to Nothingness, where the mana symbols at the very bottom are in black and white. You can tell because it is from 2004. It's an original. This card is older than me by 4 years. I'm turning 17 this year. In 1 month, I turned 17. So, that is just something to be, cautious of. Door to Nothingness reads, it comes into play tapped. That's not going to matter in just a moment. But I can pay 2 WUBRG, 2 of each color, to tap it, sacrificing Door of Nothingness. Target player loses the game. That is WinCon 2. That is it. That's WinCon 2. Now, if I look at my cards that I have on the way, I have a card that is named my WinCon 3. I have 3 different WinCons in this deck. Coalition Victory. It's 2 WUBRG. It's 2 and a WUBRG, I believe. Let me check. My mistake. It is 3 and WUBRG. And it reads, you win the game if you control a creature of each color and a basic land of each type. Now, Garth One Eye is our commander, so we can play WUBRG in this deck. This guy counts as our card. Now, getting the lands is super easy because I've 4 of each type or each color of lands. This is my everything deck. I call it my everything deck. I call it my ultimate token deck, but it is all around the everything deck. Now, I did think about this. So I made sure by testing this out every 20 minutes, I played my deck for 20 minutes by myself, alone in my room, like a freak, for 20 minutes for at least 2 hours straight. I would play and play and play and figure out what land drops I have. It was perfect. I don't think I've seen anything more perfect than my land drops. Not to mention that I have land tutors. What the fuck did I just drop? I dropped a card. Oh god, where did it go? I don't know where the card went. Oh, I see it. It's way back there. No. I have tutor lands. I have creatures that can make treasures. I have one that's called Treasure Dredger. You pay 1 life, tap it, you create a treasure token. These are my land tutors and my artifacts that can sacrifice for one of any color. Now, mind you, that Garth can make a Black Lotus. Again, so that's 3 mana of any one color that you can sacrifice for free and play for free at any time. You just gotta a little tap on the guy, a little, you know. Now, Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse are in this deck. That's 2. That's 2 lands that you can get turn 1 and turn 2. That is 2 of any color lands that you need. Now, assuming that turn 3 does not treat you nice, you can pull a Lotus Petal that you can sacrifice for any color. Tap it, sacrifice it for any one color. Now, choose green. Just trust me and choose green. Because you're going to play a Cultivate. Tapping all your mana for a Cultivate. Searching library for up to 2 basic lands. Do you see where I'm going with this? One goes onto the battlefield, tap, the other one goes into your hand. Since you have not played a land for turn, you play your land. That is 4 mana on turn 3. Now, we could be more swift about it. This is just the way I'm putting it. You untap, say you have a swamp, forest, mountain, and plains. All you need is that sweet, sweet island. You're going to tap for 2 and play Tamir Monument, allowing you to search your library for a forest, island, or mountain card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Now, since you've not played a land for a turn, I don't think you played a land for a turn. If you did, you're a scumbag and I hate you. Play your land using Tamir's Monument's little tutor. That that's not all, folks. Because if you don't pull Tamir Monument, I Farseek, allowing you to search for anything, any type of basic land other than a forest, for 2 mana. Now, you didn't pull any of these cards. Your Rampant Growth is always got you. You always pull them within the 5 first turns. That's a known fact. It's either that or I'm just extremely lucky every time I play with a Rampant Growth. Now, those are your land tutors. To get one of each basic land, that's turn 4 that you can have one of each color land. Now, Coalition Victory costs 8 mana to summon. Now, let's say we don't want to summon it. Let's move on to some of the broken cards I have in this deck. Starting with Omniscience, also known as Omniscience. If you don't know what Omniscience does, it's a 8 mana drop, I think, an 8 mana drop that you can play cards from your hand without having to pay their mana costs. So, let's say, instead of paying the 8 mana for Coalition Victory, we have 5 cards in our hand. One of them is Omniscience. We have exactly the right amount of mana to summon Omniscience. We summon Omniscience, it doesn't get countered. Then we pop off. We play every other card that we can play. Attack for a little bit. Now, Coalition Victory is a sorcery, so make sure before going to your end step, you play it. Because you're a piece of shit. And you'll love Magic for the fun of it. Now, I think that's a game changer. I'm pretty sure it is a game changer because it's awesome. That's WinCon number 3. I forgot what one we are on. Now, of course, this is my everything deck. So all of the lands I have are bounce lands, which means they tap of 2 colors instead of 1. And whenever they enter, it returns a target land that you control to your hand. And it comes into play tapped. That's another thing. They come into play tapped. So, Rakdos, Carnarium. I have Salacianums, Gruul Turf. I have another one. I have 4. Orzhov Beliska. Golgari Rot Farm. Selesnya Sanctuary. And the Dimir Catacombs. That is every single bounce land that you can get. No, that's wrong, because there's the white and red one and the white and blue one that I don't have in here. So, no, that is not everything that you can get. These are just all the lands that I had to fill. Now, with my everything deck, mana isn't going to be an issue, because I have all 3 of the Urzas. I have Urza Tower, Power Plant, and Mine, which means they all together tap for 7 mana. Remember that Omniscience I was talking about? Just tap 3 lands and 1 blue and you're set. I have fun building Magic decks. So, this is my example of how I build a deck. Now, I'm going to teach you how to build your own deck. Starting with the lands. You don't want to have too many lands. You also don't want to have too little lands. So a good round number for lands is usually 35. I have 37 in my deck. I found some old dual lands from Mirage. I just shoved them in there. So, but they're not necessary. You can have 35 lands. Your deck will still function as normal. That's over a third of your deck is land. Now, the general rule of Magic that you want is what's good as a 99 versus a commander. Now, I have been asked questions about this to my friends who haven't played Commander before. I started playing Magic with my friend back in December. Now, I'm not a Magic expert. By no means I'm an expert. Hell, you have to have 10,000 hours at something before you're considered an expert at it. I'm nowhere near that. I have maybe 1,000. I have played a lot in the past 6 months, though. It's been half a year. Wow. Excuse me. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So when you are building a deck, you want to keep it fairly simple with 35 lands, and the rest is up to you. You can have whatever you want in that rest. So whatever you have for the rest of your 64 cards is all up to you. Now, you can choose to have 22 and 22. So 22 creatures and 22 enchantment, artifacts, and instants and sorceries. So you can make up a combination of 22 of all of those to make it even, rounded. I recommend not going through your bulk to find cards. Look up on EDHREC some of the most popular commanders for budget decks. This is not a budget deck. This is $200. It's how much I have spent total on this deck, and I have about 8 cards to go. Because I just found one of my other ones the other day, and I forgot about it until now. So I'm at 91. I have 8 cards to go. It's going to cost me roughly $14 total on TCG Player to get these cards. I recommend looking on EDHREC at some popular or unpopular commanders that you see no one playing versus really playing. Some ones that I would recommend are Garth. Garth is a good commander base. I'll just say that. He's a good base commander. Now, is he the best? No. He is not the best WUBRG commander. If you want the best WUBRG commander, try the Ur-Dragon or a Sliver commander. Those are going to be your best bets if you want a good WUBRG commander. If you want to have fun while slapping the shit out of people, choose Garth and basically make the deck I'm making. It will help you in the long run on building decks by just looking up deck lists. So you can see how some professionals, I say professional, they're not any better than me. I could probably slap the shit out of them. But people who have built decks before build a deck. So it can teach you some of the ways of building a deck. That's what I did. I went on EDHREC. I found all the Garth One-Eye Commander decks, and I found one that is similar to mine. Not the same, but very similar. It has Brutaclad, it has Colossus. I got those from that deck. A way to keep track of your deck would be Mana Box, which is what I use. It's simple, it's on your phone, super accurate. Not price-wise, but everything else is completely accurate. Another thing I would do is don't look at super expensive decks. Any deck over $300 is not worth it simply. It's going to have a bunch of the bullshit cards like Rhystic Study or Esper Sentinel in it. Now, speaking of those two, I actually removed them from my deck. I had them in there at some point, but I thought that they were too much of good. They were too good to be put in my deck. It would simply not make my deck fun anymore for me to play along with my friends. Now, I'm not saying my friends are fun to play with. They aren't. At all. Except for one. Love you, Byron, if you're watching this. You're the GOAT. But when making a Magic deck, like I said, try 35 lands, and then the 64 is up to you. I have 25 creatures, and the rest of it is instant sorceries, enchantments, and artifacts. It's mostly artifacts and sorceries. 5 instants and 5 enchantments. So, moving on, I'm going to give you some commander ideas that, whether if you're trying to learn how to build a deck and see what kind of motion you need to put in that ocean, or just finding simply good cards, I would watch Skill Check, The Command Zone, Shuffle Up and Play. These content creators that are here with us on YouTube are some of the best I've watched in a long time. If you want to watch for funny, haha, watch Skill Check. If you want to watch for a more serious, more action-packed game, check out The Command Zone. If you want a mix of both, look at Shuffle Up and Play. If you want to learn about the newest cards that would be great in your deck, check out the professor at Tolarian Community College. He is the professional, I would dare say the professional at Magic. Another thank you, or my first thank you, is going to go out to Charlie, also known as Moist Critical, also known as Penguin Zero, for basically teaching me how to play Magic by watching him play. I learned how to build a ninjutsu deck without ever using ninjutsu. I want to thank my friends for teaching me how to play and being so patient with me. I know it was rough at the start, but I really do appreciate you guys so much. Another thing I want to shout out real quick is we have a Twitch channel. I plan on going live this weekend. Please be there. It's the same as my YouTube channel, just on Twitch, the Jack TRM. We also have I also have a Instagram with me, just me. It's just me. That would be listed below in the description. If you want to watch more content about Magic, please keep watching on this channel. I'm starting a gaming channel. Please go check it out. It's going to be the Jack TRM Games. I will be rebranding this channel as the Jack MTG because I love Magic the Gathering. It has changed my life as a whole. It brought me out of a depression I didn't know existed. And it's overall just so fun to play. I love the game with everything in my heart. But that is all for me today, folks. Please subscribe. I would appreciate it if you did. It's free. It always helps me out. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. Hit the notification so you never miss another video from me. I will be posting some YouTube shorts here soon. I don't know if it's going to be within the next few hours of this video being uploaded or within the next days. But I will be posting more Magic content here. So if you are into that, please check it out. If you are into games, please check out the Jack TRM Games. That is all for me today, folks. I really hope you enjoyed. Good